This was a video I wasn't planning on making. I didn't plan on it. I didn't hope for it. But, as many of you know, because I've been religiously trying to post about it and do stuff about it, I was trying to help the GoFundMe for Ruskell's, trying to get that whole thing back on his feet and the business's feet. And there are a lot of emotions involved for both me and that Ruskell himself. And I was hoping that maybe we could get some more donations. Maybe we could get some attention. At least I hope to get some attention for him. And I had told him at the start of this that I raise as much money as I can through the GoFundMe and trying to bring people there. And I would cover the rest of the rent that was due, which was one of the reasons why we were trying to do so much. Like tomorrow, today it's being posted on Monday, but tomorrow rent was due. And I visited today after work, and I thought maybe by the hand of God or something that we were good, and it was looking good. But we figured out that he still owed $2,000, $2,400, and as much as I can cover a large amount, that is way too big for me to cover. I know you can't save them all, and I'm not here to play some savior or some hero, but I also know that Russ had given me my start. And even though I'm not some famous, artist, not even like a local celebrity, I still appreciated the start he had given me because nobody had given me a foot in the door. Nobody had given me anything. I kind of walked up to him and he gave me a chance. And from there, I built what I have now. And I'll continue to build. And I was hoping to pay it back in some way and do something for him. But perhaps, I don't know. I guess my plate was too big for my mouth, or couldn't put my money where my mouth was, but I was hoping that maybe I could help out and move forward to keep it around and maybe have a new Pulp 716 under Ruskell, have something new, and keep a comic book shop and keep another literary and creative store in Lockport, because there isn't enough of those, really isn't. But I don't want to say we didn't succeed, but I feel I didn't succeed. The GoFundMe barely got any donations. I mean, it maybe got two $50 ones, but compared to the 1.8K, which were really close to that goal, we were at like 1,400. We just didn't make it. And I thought maybe he would make enough sales to cover that, but it doesn't seem like it. And Russ, if you're watching this, it really did pain me to have to call you and tell you all of that. And it pains me to have to make this video and be straightforward with everything. I wish I could come on here and be like, we saved the business. Here's what we're doing moving forward. Here's a plan to make something cool, and keep a comic book shop around and offer more to the community. But that's not the video that this is. And it pains me to know that right now it doesn't seem like it has a happy ending. And that tugs at more than your heartstring. That tugs at your soul, to know that, especially not even for me, but for you yourself and everybody around you, to see this dream like this collapse. I could understand how hard that is to deal with. God knows I've seen a lot of my dreams collapse. So, what do we do moving forward? That's a question I have to ask myself. I'm sure that's a question Russ has to ask himself. And that's a question I want to pose to not only the Lockport community, but everyone who saw these posts. What do we do moving forward? Do we let something like this, a quote-unquote failure, dictate how we see progress or see these local businesses are trying to make a difference in our communities, even if it's not Lockport? Do we let this one mistake, this one, not mistake per se, but this one, I don't want to say failure either, but nothing's set in stone, but it seems like it's looking that way. This one business fall, do we let that set a standard for how we should look at our community and our society and see how set that forward as to not care and not help out, and it is a hard feeling to grapple with, but I think that what we can learn from this, regardless of what happens tomorrow or moving forward, or if Ruskell's Comics somehow gets revived either down the road or somehow still survives this, although it's a really heavy blow, I think that it sets us as a warning, of what happens when we don't care for our community, because there's no telling what the future holds, and it sucks that not every story, no matter how sad, can have a happy ending. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe in tomorrow, miraculously, he'll have the money for it. But it's a lot, and I apologize to Russ and everyone part of that business, even the family who owned and operated that business, that I couldn't do more. Sometimes I forget I'm just a mere human, as quote unquote skilled and as I don't want to say great because that sounds really narcissistic, but great as I am, I have my flaws too, and know that anyone in Ruskell's Comics, if moving forward there's something else decided, something new, I will be the first one to buy and the first one to support, because even regardless of this business, Ruskell himself did a lot of good for me and gave me a chance when a lot of people wouldn't, and I think that's important. And even if this comic book shop falls and nothing new is made, I'll at least carry forward that willingness to help and that willingness to give someone a chance, even though they might not be known, just to hopefully see them succeed and hopefully build a lifelong career. And if I can help in that, like he did, I think that's what I'll inspire to do. But it's a damn shame. I'm actually shaking, like, saying this, so moving forward, I think the question on my mind and the question on Russ's mind is, where do we go from here? And if there's anything that I can do to support that, Ruskell's, even though it's not looking promising, I will. But there's some things I can't do. And I guess that's a hard reality that sometimes you need to accept. Not you, Russ, but me, myself. So, I thought I'd post this. And, have a good day, everyone. And I'm going to try to move forward. No matter what happens, I'll support Russ in whatever future decisions he makes, and hopefully somehow we bounce back.